November 10th. Turner County Board of Education, School Board, Part 2, coming out of closed session.
I'll entertain a motion to exit executive session. Motion was Kendrick. Second was Paul. All in favor? That is unanimous. Item H, there will be no action needed on HR recommendations tonight. Do you have any more information items for us?
I do not.
Item I is the approval, item I is the approval of retroactive Horizon Academy, which is GNET's MOU. Have a motion? Have a motion from Mr. Ball. Second from Mr. Brown. All in favor? That is unanimous. Approval of the 8th grade out-of-state field trip to Orlando, Florida on May 8th, 2026. Have a motion? Have a motion? Have a motion from Mr. Ball. Second from Ms. Kendrick. All in favor? It's unanimous. Approval of the middle school girls basketball team field trip to Gainesville, Florida on November 20th, 2025. Do I have a motion? A motion from Ms. Blue. Second. Second from Mr. Brown. All in favor? It's unanimous. Board retreat rescheduling, we talked about that last week. Did we decide on the date?
November 20th.
It will be here.
We'll be in Turner County. Right now, it's looking at East Hill, can we place the event center? Because of that. It'll be in town.
And then we have information items for the board that we had last week. Is there any information items that you'd like to?
I don't have any additional construction updates unless you have questions, but for B, the millage rate, Ms. Walker is here with us tonight since she had her conference last week. So she was gonna give you a little bit more information about that process.
Just that we've set the meeting, the required meeting that we have to have. We are recommending that we use the rollback rate, which is 13.862. And, so that therefore, at that rate, 1 mil would bring in 306,242 approximately. And, our last rate we had at 14.5, and that mill was bringing in 288,272. So there's a difference of 17,970 per mill, and it's a difference of $65,000 per year.
Any questions?
We'll see more of that, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am. Today's Monday, so it'll come out in the paper Wednesday, the 5-year history.
Would you email that to us?
I can email it in the morning, I sure can.
Are you going to the, finance workshop?
I don't want to start.
Which finance
One
workshop?
is this Wednesday.
Wednesday.
This week, right?
It is this Wednesday.
I didn't know anything about that. I just got back from GASPO where they go over all the legal stuff and,
It's all fun.
yeah.
You're doing finance, you're doing finance.
I don't know, but you,
I will say that Corey Kirby was there, and the GSDA representatives were there, but Corey goes, I don't
He'll
know.
probably be there as well.
That's what I would think. I would think it's kind of a repeat of, because we literally were in sessions from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4:50. And if I stayed in that same conference room, because it was all the legal classes.
The thing we got on the finance listed who was speaking, but I don't know, I can't remember who it was.
updated wrestling schedule. I've been in talks with, Coach Raymond, with the athletic director, with the basketball schedules. And it sounds like the 6th and 7th grade middle school issues are with the Saturday games, and those are some of the changes that have been made in the schedule. They are still working on that, and one of the main reasons is they had trouble finding bus drivers for those Saturday games. They're looking at rescheduling those completely, since they're having trouble getting drivers. So I'll keep y'all updated as those dates are confirmed.
Who's coaching?
Who's coaching the middle schools? We actually have Coach Johnson, we have a couple that are working on that together.
I thought Coach Johnson was driving the bus.
He was gonna drive the bus, and then I think that was an issue with one of the Saturday games, that he wasn't able to.
So it's only one game that is the issue?
There were several games that were issues, with not being able to find drivers. Yeah, but I'll get some information for y'all as soon as I get more. That's right. It seems like it's still up in there. As far as, so you go on down, you do have in your packets the superintendent student advisory panel meeting summary from our meeting we had on October 30th. Again, I think you can see from the progress that we made last year's, meeting and the work that they did. You can see how we've already talked about how it relates to the strategic plan. We did have our conversations about group norms, which brought up a lot of great conversations. We had what's proper procedures and protocols, how the students respond to each other, talk to each other, respect each other in these kind of professional settings. We had several different activities, but again, I think I mentioned earlier, they talked about what makes our school special, what makes it strong, what's a challenge that the students themselves could solve and address this year, and what's one idea that could help students feel more connected and motivated. And again, we just gave you a summary, but there was some incredible discussions that took place, and they are looking forward to what they're going to be able to accomplish this year, including the additional community service projects. They did decide at that time as well that they would like to do more than one each year. Instead of doing one per year, they would like to do one each semester. So I'll keep you updated on that. As far as additional items, I won't go through everything since we discussed them last week. I do want to thank the county commissioners. They've already given us $5,000 towards the caution lights and crosswalk projects that we know are so needed for this road in front of the school and this road beside the school. So we're still in talks with the city for those additional supports, and it looks like we're going to be successful in that area as well. And then I don't have any additional comments about any of the additional items unless you have questions. There is one additional item that's not on there that I would just like to mention. There have been 2 superintendents in Georgia that have actually passed away in the last 2 days. The superintendent in Tryon City up near Rome, and then the superintendent in Grady County. So I just ask that you keep their families in your prayers. Both of them were sudden and unexpected.
What about the engraved paper
That's
project?
gonna start in December. Right now, we're working on the design.
Are those bricks actually, we've got one, okay.
I've got one in my office as well.
Is it actually engraved or is it just a little plate on it?
I mean, like, does it go deep in it, or is it on top?
Deep
So
in it.
it goes deep, the engraving is.
It does engraving.
I thought that's where it's supposed to
That's what the picture showed, anyway.
So I think, we did, I think there were 23, we were waiting on the numbers, I think there were 23 4x8 bricks, and there were 20 or 21 8x8 bricks. So now that we have the numbers, they're working on the design and what that would look like. The design will be actually right there in front of the school, on the other side of that wall where the flagpole is, that's where it'll be located.
I do have another question, Mr. Gomez.
Yes.
I've totally forgotten it, if you explained it to us, the GACF, expand.
CSEFP, talking about expanding, yeah, we wanted to kind of expand the program, especially now since the government shut down. We want to be able to provide meals to, any of those families who need some more for those kids.